Stanley, I think, understood that ideas cannot be forced. You get an idea when you get an idea. You must pose the question, and eventually it comes to you. So when we were working on it, and we were committed to this process with him, and we were committed never to give up, no matter how. Sometimes playing this character was infuriating and frustrating. Playing, Bill. There's not an outlet with Bill. I think by the time I got to that final scene of the movie, the pent up emotion inside was just so ready to come out. It was like a dam breaking when I played that scene. It just, I was like this. You have to put yourself into that state where it wasn't a performance, where it just was. You existed. But it was more, which, even Stanley talked about, it was more than just existing. It's got to be interesting. He was looking for what we all look for in for ourselves, that you can't force, is that time that it happens, that it's unexpected, it just occurs. And whatever Stanley felt to be the most interesting is he wanted to explore that. And I was interested as the actor to see, where is it going to go? Where are we going to go with this? What's going to happen? How is this scene going to end up? I was just as curious, and I think that Stanley was just as curious, although he knew thematically the tone that he wanted, and he never took time to really discuss it, because it just became this almost understood. We didn't talk about the meaning of the scene. He was always, would talk about, he's kind of almost pragmatic about it, what made sense. And then looking for something for us to bring to the table to take it to that next place.
I think you go through all sorts of emotions. I mean, Stanley always was waiting for something to happen. And he wasn't as interested in naturalistic acting as he was in something that, for whatever reason, surprised him or piqued his interest. That's when he would go, okay, now we're on to something. And he was always interested in exploring things, that there was no right and wrong in relation to making a film, a performance. It wasn't about, well, this is the right way to do it and this is the wrong way to do it. It was about exploring all facets of it, so that then he could go into the editing room and edit it. That's what I perceive it as. So as an actor, as long as you relaxed into the situation and said, okay, I'm going to go with this, then it was the most wonderful experience, because you didn't ever walk away from the set feeling, I didn't get it. Oh, if only you'd let me have one more, maybe we would have discovered something. He made sure that he discovered everything there was to discover in the material.
Did you find yourself surprising yourself with new things?
It's by doing a lot of takes, and also by being so close to him and to Tom, I was constantly surprising myself, but I was very relaxed. So a lot of the time when the camera's on, I wasn't even aware. The awareness of all the other things, like people standing around and booms and cameras and stuff, was to the point where I wouldn't even notice it. I wouldn't even think about it, which is a really difficult situation to get into. When you do it on a film for a small amount of time, it requires extraordinary concentration, and a lot of the time you don't achieve it because you're still aware, and you always have a feeling of, oh, I wish I'd just been able to try something else. Whereas with Stanley, you get to the stage where you don't notice any of it. Partly you're tired, which is actually a very good thing sometimes when you're acting, because it means that you're not trying to produce emotions or trying to be this or thinking this is how it should be. It just happens and just sort of comes out of you. It's very hard to explain. It's something that only a small number of people who have worked with Stanley understand, but it's almost like a club, because when you meet, and it's editors, it's production designers, it's DP, it's whoever has worked with him and experienced his intensity and his passion for filmmaking. They're the only people that truly understand it. and other actors.